Hello and welcome to the Ruth Loves to Knit podcast. I'm Ruth and I love to knit. Well, it's not really a podcast. If you have a TV or a radio or any access to the internet, you know what's coming up on Friday. The day after Thanksgiving in America, the whole world goes mad. And generally, I try not to fall into the temptation to buy for the point of buying, because it's a bargain. As my father-in-law used to say, a bargain's not a bargain if you don't need it. But when it comes to knitting, what has need got to do with it? And I want to share something with you today that I've seen a lot of other podcasters sharing, but it's come to me and I want to pass on the good news before Friday, because there's massive discounts on this particular item. So months and months and months ago, a company, like literally probably March, April, a company called Caydo emailed me and asked me if I would like to do a collaboration with them. Now, if you knew how many companies get in touch with me after every podcast trying to get me to collaborate or sponsorship, from the sublime to the ridiculous, from hats to fitness gear to all the most ridiculous things, and none of them have ever been really knitting related. So when something knitting related came up, I said I'll certainly give it a go. So Caydo is the company. It's obviously got a bit bashed in the transit, but they sent me this one, and I'm giving you the full disclosure. I said I wouldn't collaborate with them because it didn't work properly. Back in the box, and they were brilliant. Great communication, no problem. Told me very quickly that they were bringing out a new model, and as soon as the new model came out, they got back onto me again. I mean, I'm not a big podcaster, but they got back onto me again and said, would you test out this model? And it is night and day to the original model. I wouldn't have recommended the original model, and I told them I wouldn't, and they said that's okay. But when they sent me this new one, I thought, actually, this is quite good. And I have done spent a very scientific morning this morning doing research for you. Look, nothing's perfect. I'm sure many of us have wound yarn with two hands or around the back of a chair, and it's worked just as well. But I just thought this was a little something that we could maybe use for our crafting, our hobby. It's worldwide shipping, and it won't break the bank, which is the most important thing for me. Now, a few disclosures before I start. Obviously, I have had one of these for years and years and years. I think I actually got this in a charity shop. My son has adorned it with a smiley face. And I have used this perfectly well, you know, for years and years. And not a thing wrong with it. But the other disclosure is I was very blessed, I don't believe in luck, so very blessed to have been able to get my hands on one of these. This is super duper, what make is it? PDB Ing Limited. I got this on eBay, second hand on eBay. It was at least a third of the price that, half to a third of the price it was online. And this is the super duper model. So I do have one of these. So when this one came, I thought, well, I'll give it a go. Anyway, the new one came, similar box, not bashed. They improved their packaging. I did say about that. Everything was nicely wrapped up in bubble wrap and everything inside, whereas the first one I got, it was all a bit, you know, running around the box. So you get the box, you get the a really nice, much improved instruction manual thing, but it does have a QR code on it where you can look up how to fit it all together, and installation and usage and everything, if you're a visual person, if you're a visual learner person. But my son put it together on Sunday in about 3.5 seconds flat. It comes with a little screwdriver and all of the screws. And really all you're doing is this and this. Just because it's got little tiny screws, you might not have that screwdriver at home. This, I think if I remember, it's this, yeah, and these two. 4 screws, that's it. So easy. And this is the Caydo It's covered in dust because I've been winding yarn, you know, the yarn dust. It's been Caydo. Probably I set maybe a bit different to other people. This gets screwed on just the way the manual one would, and you can see the loose and tighten there. But the difference in this one is the last one had like a groove at the top. So you could do a center pull, which I really like, but this time, and nothing round the bottom, you had to wind it round and round, and it was all a bit. This one, they have put these little grooves. Now, I have done little bits and pieces of videos, but you know I am not great at videoing. But they've done these wee grooves, but I did find you needed to wrap the yarn round a few times so it didn't just fling off when you started it. It does come with a lead, which, all things considered, it's not too bad a length. Now, if you're in America, I presume, or another country other than England, this is the plug that comes with it, but that does not fit into any of our plug sockets. But as you see, it's a USB. Now, they kind of do a disclaimer, you shouldn't use this and you shouldn't use that, but I just used one of these and it works perfectly fine. It does say don't be plugging it into, you know, a computer, but I think you would know that. And it's so it's just a USB. So no charging needed, no batteries needed, nothing. And this is what it looks like. And it just clumps onto your table. You tighten it, and there's an on-off and a speed switch, but full disclosure, I did it at full tilt. And that's what it looks like. It feels, the other one felt clunky, this feels a wee bit more meaty and substantial. So, I have done a sort of a pros and cons. So it's really clear, how to use it. And as I said, there's wee bits of video that'll be coming in here as I speak. I will just put a video in to let you see that it's the noise of it, and the noise level of it, and how it works. Now, again, I have done all the things they say not to do. On the last page, but penultimate page, it says in red letters, not recommended for use with wooden umbrella Swift. Well, as you can see, on my side, this is my Swift, and it's wooden umbrella Swift. So, some of my review will not be very good because this is much heavier. This is a Licca, I don't have the box here, a Licca Swift that I treated myself to, I think, last Christmas. But the Swift I had before was much, much lighter. I think I had it for about 12 years, and it was much, much lighter, and it would have worked much, much better in this circumstance. But they have, you know, the plastic ones with the wire, so if you have one of those, it would be good. It'd be great for a cone, I just think for what it costs at the minute, it's not a bad wee thing. So this did slow it up, and it would have flown really, really quickly if I hadn't been using this heavy Swift, because it does say not to use it, but of course I didn't read the instructions. So you put your yarn up through this wee hole, up through this, and then through here, through underneath this, through this, and then down to here. The picture does say that the Swift and this machine should be at the same height. I don't have anything that's at the same height, so I did all the things that said it shouldn't. I had a wooden heavy Swift. I had it down lower, no, up higher than the machine, and it still worked, but to different varying degrees. Now, you will need to do a wee trial and error with it, like any new machine, but a lot less trial and error than the last one. And I thought I would show you some of the beautiful yarn that I've skeined up and what worked and what didn't. Now, I would say it is absolutely 100% brilliant for DK, Aran, or bulky, definitely. And a lot of the wee videos I've seen on it, that's what people have obviously been using, but my favourite is fingering, so I thought I would use fingering. The reason this is on here is because there was what do you call it, it was tied round and I couldn't get it through. It wouldn't wind for me. So let's start with the DK. I mean, beautiful, beautiful skeins. Look, can't be faulted for that. Look, beautiful. This is a ginger pink. If you've watched my podcast, you'll have seen it before. It's a 233 meters, so it's a good DK, and it beautiful, no problem at all. And the machine went nice and fast as well. The next one I did was quite a fine fingering. 400 meters, normal fingering of this beauty here. Oh, it's the Swizzles from Mamie and Flory. Yep, it came out great. Beautiful again. If you're like that aesthetically nice looking, brilliant, no problem. Then another one from Mamie and Flory, and the name is, oh no, it's not from Mamie and Flory, it's Dye and Knit by Kate. She's decided not to dye anymore, and I was a bit annoyed to cake this up before I'd shown you it on my podcast because it was so beautifully wrapped up with a ribbon and everything. But look at that, so bright. But whatever way I'd put it on the Swift, it had sort of gone into itself, round the back, and it caught a wee bit, and so it's still absolutely usable, but it's just got a wee bit of a hump. But again, beautiful. And that's called Lemon Pie. And then so this one here is going to go with the lemon pie. And then the one that didn't work, and not because of anything, it's from Botanical Yarn, but it's because of the wee nups. They kept catching on my Swift, so it was nothing to do with the yarn winder, it was my Swift that was the problem. So I'm going to have to rewind these, and the pros and cons. The con for me is that this doesn't have a little not cut. If this is solid, this wee thing that you feed it up through solid, so if something does happen, you have to cut your yarn to get it back out. I tried it not putting it through that and putting it through this, but it kind of kept jutting over, so it does need that to guide the yarn up, but that's just something to maybe that they'll improve in the future. I have written a wee list. I'm sure this is longer than it needs to be. Yeah, a notch, that's the word I was looking for, a notch on the feeder. I like center pull, so you would have to, I don't know how you would get it. The other one you could do center pull, but there you go. It does cut off after 9 minutes 22 seconds to I suppose for a kind of a safety thing, but you literally just turn it off and on again. Now 9 minutes 22 seconds you might say took forever, but I would say it'd be half the time if I didn't have this big wooden lump here. Definitely would be half the time. And as I say, you just turn it off and turn it on again, and it took just a few seconds over that to actually cake the whole yarn up. Again, the plug, but how would you ever cater to every country's plug? It's just not possible. Definitely thicker yarn, I think, is better, but I think this is the problem here. This is my problem. But the reason I'm coming on and waffling away to you today is because on their website, which is Caydo, I'll put all the details down below, is Caydo.com. They're having a Black Friday sale of 40% off. If you use code CY40, I'll put it on the screen and I'll put it down below, and it takes it down to £34.20. And when I went to go through and pretend to buy it, it gave me free shipping as well. So I mean, I think even one of these is maybe more than £34 now, and that's a saving of £22.80. So really you couldn't be bad to it, and I think £34, it's still a considered purchase, don't get me wrong, but it might be considered enough that you want to try it out. I am not, they sent me these free. I am passing this one on to a friend of mine who has mobility issues. I'm passing that on to her because I don't need it. I wouldn't endorse anything that I thought was rubbish. There are pros and there are cons, but I think at £34 you're not risking too much. And I wanted to get it in before Friday's over. I think they are going on into the weekend, but just in case they don't, I'll put a bits of pieces through this video of photographs, and I'm not a videographer, and if you've any questions feel free to ask. Full disclosure, I'm going to put a link, and if you go through the link to get it, it does give me a little bit of money back, and I will be given anything that I get from it. A bit of commission, is that the word you call it? small amount, I will be giving it to Lamb, the charity that I support. So I'll not be keeping any of it, but I need to be fully transparent to let you know that that's what's happening. So if you go over and you decide, please don't come at me if it's not something, if you get it and it doesn't suit you. Their customer service has been brilliant. I can't complain. The reviews are good online for the customer service, and it came very quickly as well. So I think all in all, for the price this weekend, I think might be a good thing. Somebody get you for a Christmas present or buy it yourself. Me to me present. So that's all I wanted to say. I did trial it. As I say, I'm passing it on to somebody who can use it more than me. But yeah, just wanted to say I don't do this often. I don't pick up on sponsorships and things. I have one other fun one that could be coming soon, but I really try and keep it as close to knitting related as I can. I'll always do that. But I'm going to go and wind this beauty up. And I hope this hasn't taken away from too much from your day. And thanks for watching. All right, bye.